Hello, church family. The time has come. We are ready for our return to in-person church services right here at our campus, 422 Medford Avenue in Painesville, Ohio. So Brian and I just wanted to come to you and share just a few things of what to expect on this first Sunday back, because every once in a while things change in church and things are just a little different, and this is one of them. So talk to me. What can I expect on Sunday morning?
Well, there's going to be a few differences. We got a few changes that are going to be happening. Our service starts at 10:45. We are limiting when you can come. We're going to open the building up at 10:30, so that gives us 15 minutes to get in and out. So plan on starting to show up around 10:30. When you do that, you're going to immediately get a greeter at the door that's going to say howdy to you and kind of direct traffic. There is a flow pattern that's going to be happening in the side doors of the sanctuary, and there'll be people there directing you on where to seat and somebody down front to kind of keep you seated, because we're trying to do the social distancing, so we're keeping every other pew blocked off, and we're only going to use half the pew per family unit for household unit, so that's going to be a little bit of a difference. Now, just mentioning it, I know that there is some long-standing seating arrangements that happens in churches. We ask that you please be patient, because we're going to seat you as you come in. And you know, really, if you think about it, the closer you are to the front, the closer to God you are.
Right.
I'm kidding.
Right.
I'm kidding.
Right.
But there will be a little bit of difference on seating, so be patient as we try to work out some of these details on all that. And then the service will get going.
So talk to me about the service. What can I expect as far as like beginning to end of service? Because it'll be a little bit different as well.
It will be different. We're trying to recognize the fact that people are going to be wearing masks. So we're trying to make it as compact as possible. We'll be starting off with a song. We're just going to do one just to kind of bring us all together. And then we'll be going pretty much into some announcements on what to expect throughout the service and how that's going to happen. And then obviously the sermon, and towards the end we're going to do the communion, and we're going to try to do it with those packets. So it'll be like a trial and error thing, I think, for that. If it works out well, we'll continue. If not, we'll try to adjust things. We do have a team of people that are going to that we're asking to evaluate and stay a little bit afterwards to see if we can get some different ideas there. So,
and that's the prepackaged things where I open it up
Yes.
and there's a wafer. I open up a second time and there's
Correct.
the juice. Okay.
Now, we recognize that sometimes those things can be difficult to open,
Right.
or even a little messy. So the one thing we are going to do is you can grab one. If you don't feel comfortable trying to open it there, we're asking you to take it home with you and just take a moment to pray and then take your communion there. It's not a big thing, but we're going to do that, and we'll reiterate all that on Sunday as well.
Now, will that be available in the middle of the service? Will there be a station at the end that I can grab that at? How will I access my communion?
As you come in the sanctuary, on either side of the door, there's going to be a table that's going to be set up with these communion emblems. You'll grab one of those as you go in the door. The other thing we're going to have there is going to be some of those hand sanitizers that we had at the pews, but we're going to have them out there so we know which ones need to be cleaned and all that. So you'll grab all that as you go in, and you'll just hold on to that until the end of the service, and then we'll be directed through the communion time there. And there will be a place for you to throw your empty cups and papers and that as you leave.
Okay. One other question that I've had a few phone calls on recently has been offering as well. So communion, I think we all pretty much know communion is definitely going to be something we have to do in a different way.
Right.
How about offering look?
Well, offering's the same thing. We're not going to be passing the plates. What we'll do is, as we leave, we'll be going out the center door. Mm-hmm. So as you go out, there'll be baskets we'll place, kind of like at Christmas time, that you can put your offering in. And of course, we also have the options of giving online, or you can send it in, or however you've been doing it. But there's going to be a way to do that, and then it'll be secured afterwards like we typically do in the office.
Okay. What door should we enter when we're coming to church?
There's two doors we're going to use. We're going to use the one from the east entrance that's over by Johnson's, and we're going to use the front door that's along the front of the church. So we're asking everybody to fill up the parking lot next to Johnson's to begin with, and then overflow to the back. But the back doors won't be open, so you'll have to walk around to get to the one entrance. We're trying to limit the amount of sanitizing we're going to have to do during the week. So we're going to try this out and see how that works.
And then just to reiterate, there is no Sunday school, there's no kids programs or anything to that nature. So
Right.
for the indefinite future, we're still just doing really church services only.
Correct.
Okay.
And, kids are kids.
Yeah.
You've got enough kids
I
that
have a
they're
couple.
probably not going to interrupt you if
No, they will.
things happen. But, don't feel free to bring your kids in the church. I mean, we're here to worship God, and it's nice for them to understand how that side of things works. So if you have kids and you're ready to bring them, we'd love to have them there. If not, then we still have our online presence. We're still going to try to do that. So you can still look at our Facebook or at our website. We'll still have all that stuff put on there live as well, and something you can look at later. So there's a lot of different avenues to watch.
What about masks? Masks are like the hot button issue for everything. So what's our policy on masks?
We are going to try to follow what the government has laid out for churches, and that is we're asking everyone to wear a mask in. Now we realize that sometimes they get uncomfortable. I mean, we're not going to police it, but we really would like to have people wear their masks throughout the service. And you talked a little bit earlier, we're different than we were, so we're really expecting, with all the things that we're shortening, I would imagine this is going to be like a 45-minute or so service. So it's not like it's going to be an hour and a half that you're going to have to deal with it. So hopefully we can just leave the mask on. Obviously, when communion comes, we'll have to pull them down or take them off to do communion. But that'll be a short amount of time, and then we'll put the mask back on.
Cool. Well, I think that's all the questions that I have for you. These are strange times, and I don't think any leadership in church history has ever really had the situation of how to plan through a pandemic. So this is something that requires us much grace. And I'm reminded of a passage in 1 Corinthians 9, and that's where Paul talks about the rights of an apostle. And he says that he has the freedom as an apostle to really do anything that he desires, but if he feels that his freedom is making somebody else stumble or frustrated, then he has to curb that back himself. And what that means is a lot of these things, they're not necessarily laws or codes or whatever we have to follow. They're really recommendations from CDC. People have sharp opinions on things on either way. Do I wear a mask? Do I not wear a mask? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do this? All of that stuff there. So what we're asking is just for a spirit of unity and a spirit of harmony. It is our hope and our prayer that this Sunday is a joyous occasion to return back to church. We haven't seen people in 15 weeks, which is just crazy to even fathom and think about. But because of that, we want to focus on the fellowship and seeing everybody again, and just building from June 21st forward in the ministry of our church and everything that we have to celebrate and to do. So we're asking for a spirit of unity, a spirit of harmony, some grace and patience and forgiveness along the way as well.
And let's face it, we're meeting back together not only for the fellowship, but we're meeting back together to corporately worship God, to thank God for how we've been protected and brought through all this. And we want to thank God for the fact that no matter what happens, He endures. So in all this spirit of unity, let's meet together for the purpose of worshiping God, seeing each other, and being that encouragement to help us continue on forward.
Yep. We're excited, so I will see you Sunday, even though I'm sorry today. I'll see you tomorrow night, though, or I guess whenever this airs, but probably tomorrow night on your Bible study.
Right.
So Wednesday we got that night there, and so good stuff.
Probably look out for a letter that's going to be coming out. We're also going to be including this on the website, I think, and Facebook as well. Yeah. And hopefully some announcement on One Call, too, just so we can get everybody out there. So be looking for that as we plan on being back together.
Yep, we have a letter and a map that we'll have on every social media outlet we can find, website and everything else. So be on the lookout for that. And if you don't have that, we want to mail it to you or have you access it. But otherwise, we will see you Sunday morning at 10:45. Looking forward to it.
God bless.